I happened to be officer of the day, which meant I had to stay up all night at the airport, which was just an airfield with tents on it and a bunch of airplanes parked there. The operations building was a tent also. And I was in there, I just got some coffee and come back. And I was in the operations tent when the radio came on, and a voice asked for clearance instructions and no honors code, or no honors, something like that. Which meant to me that if somebody that would get honors, if he didn't specifically prohibit it, so he must be a VIP of some kind. What's he doing coming in at 11 o'clock at night?
And this is what year
military
and month?
airfield with no lights on it, huh?
What year and month is this?
This is August of 45.
45, okay.
And when they landed, and I got in my Jeep and went out, and I told the sergeant that was there at the tent with me to turn the landing lights on when he heard their motors on the final approach. And I got in my Jeep and went out to the flight line to wait for them to get closer and for the lights to come on. And they did, and the sergeant turned the lights on, and they landed and rolled out, and he turned the lights right off again. And they taxied in with just flashlights. They didn't turn their bright lights on to taxi in because we're under blackout conditions. The war is still going on. And the Japanese would send out suicide pilots at night to attack the parked airplanes in our cantonment. So they came into the tent, and they were kind of milling around in there. There was a 2-star general and a full colonel and 5 officers and 4 enlisted airmen on this B-17, brand new B-17. And so one of them looked at one of the captains, and he looked again, and he said, "Man, your eyes are yellow." And the colonel came over and took a look, and he tried to Zippo lighter, turned it on, looked at his eyes, and said, "Yeah, your eyes are pretty yellow. The whites are all yellow." And then he turned to me and he said, "Have you got a doctor here?" And I said, "A flight surgeon." He said, "Send for him." So I sent the sergeant in a Jeep to go get the flight surgeon, bring him down there. And when he got there, he looked into his captain's eyes with a flashlight. He turned to the colonel and he said, this man's not going anywhere but to the hospital. He's got a bad case of jaundice, and if he's not hospitalized and treated, he's not going to live." And so the colonel says, "Well, take him away." And then the colonel turned to me and he says, get your commander down here." So I called the group commander, and he came over to the tent, and the general jumped into it about that time. He said, "I'm going to need your best pilot with the most 4-engine experience in the outfit." So the group commander said, "I don't think we have any. We're a fighter outfit." And the general said, "Well, if you got a personnel officer, get him to go check the records. There must be somebody here with some 4-engine time." So they did, and they found that I was the only one in the outfit that had 4-engine time. But I got into flight test school. I flew both the B-17 and the B-24 there. And so the general turned to the group commander and said, "Well, he's going with me in the morning." He says, "Get somebody to relieve him right now." He turned to me and he said, "Son," and he said, "cut orders assigning him to my organization here. The captain will give you the information for 3 weeks temporary duty." And then he turned to me and said, "Son, go home and get a shower, pack clothes for 2 weeks, no weapons, no knives, full dress, Army full dress uniform." He said, "And meet me here at 6 o'clock in the morning." So I did. It was already midnight, and I was back there about 4:30, and they came in about 5. And we got in the airplane and took off, and right after we took off, in the dark, because we're still under blackout conditions, and we took off and headed north towards Japan, and the general went back in the waist of the airplane, opened a steel safe that was bolted to the floor there, and took out a big envelope like that, tore the envelope and opened it. He scanned the letter, and it was a very simple 2 or 3 paragraph letter, and he said, turned to the navigator, another Air Force captain. He said, showed him the letter, he said, "You think you can find these coordinates?" And the navigator looked at him, he said, "Yeah, sure." The general said, "Well, get on it." And he handed him the letter, and the navigator called up